This is going to be my L'chaim tonight, but it's the same thing. Everybody, let's say L'chaim. Tonight is a big simcha. Remind me your name again? Tzvi. L'chaim. You're Mendel, right? L'chaim. Yeah, you have some L'chaim? You're also doing the same thing?
Yeah.
No. I'm already old guy. and I'm trying to detox.
Me too. Set life in Sweden, that's hard for me.
Yeah. But L'chaim, everyone. L'chaim. Where's your L'chaim? Levi, you saying L'chaim? Zach, you saying L'chaim? Special L'chaim for Zach.
Two temples.
Chaim Yaakov. Chaim Benkin, what's the first name? Yoni Benkin.
Until 40.
Again? Chaim Yaakov. Chaim Rabbi Wenger. Chaim Josh. Chaim David. Josh is in the middle of Shmonesra over there. So L'chaim, everyone.
I'm terrible, no?
Tonight, we're celebrating Yudalat Kislev. And Yudalat Kislev is a day that it's a bit weird. What are we celebrating? It's seemingly a personal event. The Rebbe getting married, it's his anniversary. But what should we do? The Rebbe himself said once on Yudalat Kislev, the Rebbe said, this is the day that connected me with you. The simple meaning is that since he married the Friedrich Rebbe's daughter, so that's the day that he came into the family, even though that he by himself was a grandson, not a grandson, a great-great-grandson of the Tzemach Tzedek, but still the fact that he became the son-in-law of his father-in-law, which his father-in-law was the previous Rebbe, that ultimately led for him to be his successor and take over leadership and become the Rebbe and bring Lubavitch to where the Rebbe brought it. And as we said, the Rosh Chodesh Kislev, most probably we all wouldn't have been here if not for the Rebbe's work and trying to reach out to each and one of us and bring the light of Chassidus to us. So this is the simple celebration, the simple explanation for the celebration of Yudalat Kislev is the day that we got the Rebbe into our lives. It's the day that we got a Rebbe. Our Rebbe, his first connection to us as Hasidim is the fact that he married the previous Rebbe's daughter. That is the simple explanation. Hasidim celebrated Yudalat Kislev. Also one of the very famous mamorim that to nowadays people say it before the wedding. People say it, Chasanim, the groom says it, the chuppah, Rebbe said it on... No, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Oh, hi Alex. Why do you have to sit there? You can sit by the table. Besides, if you have corona or something. No. You're good. Okay. Make sure that Alex gets something to drink, maybe some l'chaim if he wants.
Unfortunately, vaccine.
Make him feel comfortable. Chassidim Farbrengen Yudalat Kislev. I'm sorry, I was about to make a mistake. The last second, the Rebbe's mimer that is quoted, that Chassanim say was said on a different day. It was said on the Friedrich Rebbe's anniversary. But there was one year that they made a Farbrengen and they wrote to the Rebbe, the Chassidim write to the Rebbe a report. A report is called Duch. Duch is the acronym for Din V'Cheshbon. And the Chassidim wrote a report of that Farbrengen, and they said exactly who spoke and so on and so forth. And then the Rebbe wrote as an answer, the Rebbe said, you didn't mention that your guys were dancing. By a wedding, one of the most significant things is the dancing. Ketzad meragdim lifnei hakala. So in general, anyone that learns some Chassidus knows that one of the things that Chassidus teaches us is that we never ever commemorate something that happened in the past. We never commemorate anything that happened in the past. Anytime we celebrate something, we're reenacting that same thing. So when we're doing Hanukkah, we're going to not just commemorate the Hanukkah miracle that happened over there 2,000 years ago, we're going to relive the miracles and the revelation of Hanukkah. Purim, the same thing. Pesach, the same thing. In general, Kabbalah, anyone that learns a tiny bit Chassidus and starts to get some feeling and understanding for the depth and the wealth of Chassidus, one of the first things that will happen to you is that you'll stop commemorating things. You'll stop seeing things as a means for an end. You'll start to learn how to appreciate and re-experience things. That's like one of the things that happens if you want to know if you're starting to get a feel for Chassidus. That's one of the things that are going to happen. You're going to stop doing things as a means for an end. You're going to learn how to do things and be present in those things and experience things. You can imagine by your you can imagine by yourself that you could also do the same thing anniversary. Hopefully one day, the right time, everyone over here is going to get married. Whenever you decide you want to get married, it should go very easy and smooth, and you should find your basher, should find your second half. Meanwhile, before you start looking for your second half, work on your first half. Yeah, because if your first half stinks, it's a bit hard to get a decent second half, right? Be that person. Be that person that you want to marry. What? Rabbi Vichman said that I should Farbrengen Gidal Kislev and talk about relationships. I don't know anything about relationships, but this is a good word. This is a good word. Work on your first half first, and what was I saying?
Work on your first half.
Yeah, that part I remember. Oh, Ezra. It's empty seat over
here.
here.
Person you married.
Yeah, right. And how did you get to that? First in line for what?
Stop doing things just for an end, as means to an end.
Oh, very good. So when you'll decide, thank you. Guys, at least there's Yaakov. Yaakov listens. Why should you sit in the second line? Come, sit over here.
It means this right.
Like this, like sit close. If I want, I could just give you a slap. He was here this morning. You saw him? Nice.
Is it framing live stream?
What?
Is it live stream?
Yeah.
What's the link?
Is there a camera?
What's the link? It's just go
going
to the
Twitch famous.
Secret camera.
Famous on
It's on
Twitch.
Maybe I should have to go to the Mayanot one. By mistake, I went to mine. Because in the morning, Rabbi Kaplan. Just go to mine. Oh, tell Gedalia. Mayor Levinger. Yeah. But tell him he should come with some l'chaim.
Rabbi Levinger's usually.
Yeah. It's a mistake. This is my l'chaim. L'chaim said. L'chaim. So what was I in the middle of saying? So when you're going to get married, when the right time comes, and the right time when you decide you want to get married and build a family, you're going to from time to time celebrate an anniversary, right? So there's two ways of celebrating anniversary. You could celebrate the anniversary that you're going to commemorate when we got married, like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. You're going to commemorate something that happened. That's an external way. That's why Chassidus is called Pnimius. What does Pnimius mean? What does Pnimius mean? Pnimius means, no. You don't want to just reenact and commemorate something that happened back then. Let us renew our vows now. It's Gedalia is Gedalia there? Send a yes, a thumbs up, something that you know that you're there. L'chaim Gedalia. Oh, Gedalia said to L'chaim. So you hear, guys? You're here. You could do things as a means for an end. Why am I doing this? In order to get something else. If you're an internal person, whatever you do, you try to be present over there. And you're not just commemorating something that happened 50 years ago. We are reenacting, reliving the event. And that's why the guys, anyone that wants the Farbrengen loud, I'm very happy. Hey! Listen. There was a big Farbrengen over here a week ago, and they brought two shluchim, your brother-in-law, was shouting and Farbrengen, and meanwhile someone was disturbing the whole time. And I pushed it. I was quiet. I wanted to tell your brother-in-law, be quiet.
I got 3,000 views on the Wallburger video.
But in the middle, then you'll discuss it later. But you could do it. You could do it afterwards, or I'll be happy to listen to you, Farbrengen. I actually wanted to hear what that guy had to say.
Which guy? Jewish guy.
It's a lot more scary.
No, your brother was a brilliant Farbrengen. It was also good, but that's a Farbrengen. It's not a class. If you want to say something, share. It's a Farbrengen is like a shtickle group therapy. Yeah, we wanna, and that's why if you wanna share an issue and you don't want the whole world to hear it, you could just
Go on the line.
We'll change your name. Just change your name. Say okay, Moshe. Yeah. Okay, Chevra.
Type in chat.
So when the Rebbe writes to the Hasidim that you had a sofa bringing, but you didn't dance. By a wedding, you dance. What is the message? The message is that the Rebbe doesn't see this as another commemoration for something that happened a long time ago. The Rebbe sees it as not a commemoration, a reliving of the connection that was made between the Rebbe and the Chassidim. And because we don't want to cancel Chassidus tomorrow morning, and over the years, I've been in education for a long, long time. that you see like this. This is a great opportunity to discuss. We just explained what does it mean to be internal. Okay, whatever you do, it's not for something else. You're there, you're present. What is the ultimate example of being external? You're sitting by the Farbrengen and you're watching it on YouTube. That's like the ultimate. Like five guys over here, the whole table over here is sitting by the Farbrengen and watching it from outside.
I can't see it, so it's easy to see it. I would join in. Unfortunately, I have a kosher phone.
Good! Very nice.
It makes no sense. Just come to Farbrengen. It makes no sense. Just come there.
We should be Chassidim. Chassidim are living people. A living person is someone that never lives in a way as a means for an end. Whatever he does, he's there completely with his whole energy. We're not commemorating something that happened back in the day. We're reliving this initial connection of us with the Rebbe. But really, so I said, I've been in this business in Mayanot by itself, I've been almost 23 years. It's my 23rd year. And over the years, I've Farbrengen a lot of times. And usually I was infamous for my long Farbrengens. And there was a joke amongst the students, said, Rabbi, why do you have to wait till 2:30, 3 o'clock, in the middle of the night to say these things? Say 10 o'clock at night, say what you want to say at 3 o'clock. It's a very smart students. Like over the years, I've had 2, 3, some smart students. What? A few, yeah. So I want to share something. This is really this is really the part of Farbrengen that usually Farbrengen at 3 a.m. and everybody's after l'chaim. Do you say a tiny bit l'chaim? Not you don't have to. Just say tiny bit. Those of you say. I understand it's Sunday night and you don't want to drink, and I also I'm on a detox. I can't drink, but let's celebrate. Let's celebrate the wedding. Let's celebrate the connection. I wanna share a problem that I had, and it's possible. Why am I sharing my problems in public? Not because I want to share my problems in public. It's not cool, but I think that maybe that's really what a Farbrengen is about. Farbrengen is, why do we need a Farbrengen? Why can't we just have a class? Is because a class is more formal and everybody is like sitting and taking notes and writing and listening and trying to learn a skill. By Farbrengen, we have some food, we have some drinks, and we could talk openly. And again, guys, if you want to say something or you feel that anything that was said over here is not something that you want should be live, we won't publish it. We won't put it online. But I want to understand this whole idea of having a Rebbe. What is this? You see, I grew up, guys, with the phones. It's an addiction. It's an escape.
I'm schooling Palestinian right now, Rabbi.
It's a waste of
Proper
time.
history lesson.
It's very much.
No, because he said that there was no such thing as a Jewish state in Israel. So I said, what about ancient Israel, Babylonia, Persia?
Yeah, but why-
We're called Jewish because we come from
The
Judah.
point is that Palestinian state never existed.
As far as I know, there's no such thing as a
Palestinian.
Palestinian.
So I'm just listening.
So ask him when was the first Palestinian king?
I asked him, could he show me a passport, maybe a currency, maybe a parliament, a government, anything, please, come on.
Checkmate.
Bro, wait, who are you debating?
Some online trolls, obviously.
Control, but not a Palestinian.
No,
Palestinians don't
Palestinian.
exist. No, but Palestinians don't exist.
What's a Palestinian?
Yeah, that's a
Okay, guys, this is
From
they might
Jenin to Gaza, we'll turn them into a plaza.
Okay, Alex is fighting for Israel now. Alex, kol hakavod. Oh, we need people that know the answers. That's why we made in the winter program. We made.
Could there be someone here who didn't send it out yet?
This we're bringing a sponsor.
Is it original?
That's why, because you guys, you should know a lot of people are in campuses and there's so much pro-Palestinian stuff, but unfortunately so many Jewish kids, sometimes even over here in the yeshiva, guys don't know the answers for the first Palestinian lie. And that's why this winter program we're going to have some good classes on Israel advocacy.
Okay.
But what?
That's one of them.
I like that.
You have to fly.
What happened, Josh? You went off?
No, you asked us.
Leave it
I
on.
think you're saying no phones.
No, don't.
We're forward to Farbrengen, Chai Misa.
Coming to show support.
Alright, Rabbi says so.
Yeah, for sure.
It's 5 minutes delayed.
It's
so-
good. It's good.
Even if you're online?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay,
Rabbi
so-
Levin,
We're giving out knitted kibbutz.
Wow, which class?
Israel Adventist.
No.
Are you sure of your brain?
We're going to bring in an Arab, a Palestinian that is going to say their point of view. It's like because some of you are becoming fanatics. You don't know how to listen to the other side
Damn.
and know what to respond in a
Civilized man.
Diplomatic.
civilized manner.
As civil as you can be.
No. There's no point in being extreme.
We don't hear.
What?
Anyways, during the winter
I
program.
get the for you.
Okay, but that's for the winter program. I want to talk about something that I can't. I want to talk about something that I won't bring up in the winter program. I want to discuss it with you guys over here. Oh, welcome.
Don't get me wrong, I don't support genocide.
This whole Levi, I just need one person to talk to. Or Zach, yeah, one person. Anyone listening there? Oh, very good. Seth, this whole Rebbe business. Oh, fine. I don't want to say who said that, but one of the guys just told me, Rabbi, I'm also struggling with that. So this is starting to become a real Farbrengen, because it's all about the. We once had a teacher over here that had a Russian accent and said, guys, anyone who learns Tanya, it's all about the struggle. It's all about the struggle. Guys, you learn Tanya?
Yes.
No, Chitas is not considered learning Tanya. It's like you learn Chitas. It's very important. It's very important. Chitas is crucial. Chitas is the conduit for your energy for the day. But Tanya, guys, every chassid needs to know Tanya. That's not what I want to bring about, but I cannot hold myself back from saying every chassid needs to know Tanya. Yaakov Tzatzkes. You know Tanya?
No.
Not yet. Yaakov, you know Tanya?
The first page.
The first page, that's beautiful. Anyone wants to know, Levi, you want a trick how to know Tanya? Mendel, you know Tanya? Wow, amazing. Amazing. You know what I did in order to know Tanya? I'm sharing this as a trick. I don't know if you want to share it to everyone. I'm sharing it. It's live, but no one is going to watch it anyways.
Yeah, we got 3 viewers. It's popular.
3 viewers.
As is one of them.
One of them.
I'm listening. I'm watching very closely.
Rabbi Wenger, you know Tanya?
Some of it.
Some of it. That's amazing. It's amazing. Tanya is a book. Oh, before I get to the trick, I want to say something about the book of Tanya. The Alter Rebbe had a divine power. It has a name in English, and I don't remember the name of it in English, but you should know.
Danke.
I didn't mean to put Mendel on the spot or Rabbi Wenger on the spot, God forbid. But you should know, a lot of people, even people that grew up Hasidim, they don't know Tanya, because Tanya is something that if you don't put your mind to it, you won't know it. But I want to say something very special about Tanya. Even though we should be really talking about Yudalit Kislev, not about Yutes Kislev, but still, this is something that I'm passionate about. I want to say, what is my definition of knowing Tanya? Definition of knowing Tanya is that you know what it says in chapter 1, what it says in chapter 2, what does it say in chapter 3, what does it say in chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6. Like a short synopsis. What does it say in chapter 27? What does it say in chapter 29? What does it say in chapter 35, 36? It's only 53 chapters. And you know why a lot of people don't know Tanya? Even people that grow up in Lubavitch? Josh, you know why?
No.
Because Tanya is such a deep book that when you could sit down and literally learn the first 5 lines, a whole class. What happens the next class? That's why I said, after Ezra said about chitas. Chitas, sometimes you don't even remember what did we speak a day before. So you don't see the how do you say, the sequence of the flow. Oh, that's the word that I was looking for. You don't see the flow. So you don't know what the book says. But what is it? All sounds the same. That
Chitas. That's what you said.
chitas. If you do you do only the chitas. That's true. There's a point like that. But I want to say that anyone that ever learned Tanya is such a deep book. You could learn the first here how a lot of people learn Tanya. Second, Tanya. Why does it say Tanya? It should really say Tana. It's not a quote from a Mishnah. It should say Tana. Why does it say Tanya, not Tana? 2 reasons. One reason is because Tanya has the letters Asan. Asan is strength. The whole book of the Tanya is to reveal the strength of the neshama. That's one reason. Another reason why it's called Tanya is because it says in Kabbalah that there is a klipa. At night you shouldn't say even the word klipa, but I'm saying it because, but there is a evil power in the world that his name is Tanya, and its main task in the world is to convince people that learn Torah not to learn the inner dimension of Torah. And the Alter Rebbe wrote the Tanya in order to defeat that evil spirit. That's why the book starts with the word Tanya. The next word in Tanya. What is the next word after Tanya? Mashbiyin. No, you're right. That's right. Now, Tanya b'sof peri gimel denida. Sof peri gimel denida is the end of the Mashbiyin. Anyone that ever learned Tanya in depth, what's called nowadays in depth, Mashbiyin has 3 translations. Mashbiyin means take an oath, it means satiate, and it means the 7th. And like this, you could go through the book of Tanya. Every word has so many explanations. But, how does it say? There are so many trees, you don't see the forest for its trees. Oh, that's the way to say it. You don't see the forest for its trees. And therefore, you can have people going out of Mayanot, and they don't know. It's not nice to share this, but almost like every few weeks, I ask Rabbi Vichner, what do we do? I want the bottom in Mayanot Shalom Tanya. But what should we do? We're struggling over here. We want to know how to learn Gemara. We want to know how to learn Chassidus. And everybody wants to learn Likkutei Sichos. and everybody also wants to do Mitzrayim, and some people want to do Rambam. There's so much to learn. So where should we push in Tanya? Where should we push in the Tanya? So back in the day, we used to have a special teacher that used to come over here nights by the night seder, once a week, would teach Tanya. But I want to suggest, and this is because, what's your first name, Levin? Dovi. Dovi wants to know the secret, the trick. Want to hear the trick? How to learn Tanya? But be tolerant. Some of you might say, Rabbi, you're off your rockers. Is that a way to learn Tanya? But I'm telling you, it works. The way to do Tanya is to do every day one chapter quickly. Quickly. Shimei! My best friend Shimei. Come sit over here next to me, Shimei.
I think I'm gonna be a bystander for this one.
Bystander? You can't be a bystander for a Farbrengen. You come for a Farbrengen, you get sucked in. What?
I'm in.
You're in. Fine. What? Oh, so you're leaving?
No, my dad. Yeah.
No problem. If you're leaving, it's live on YouTube, so you could just watch it in bed.
Yo, Jacob, sign out.
Rabbi, how could you tell us to learn Tanya?
Oh, I understand what's going on over here. So right away, you have big chassidim like Zach. Zach is a real chassid shabacher. Says, Rabbi, learn Tanya quickly. You have to do it deep. But I want to say something. Sometimes you don't see the forest for its you don't see the forest for its trees. You don't see the forest for its trees. You don't see the bigger picture. And that's why the way I learned Tanya, and I've given this piece of advice for a lot of people, and those that took this advice came afterwards and thanked me. You don't have to come and thank me. You don't have to come and thank me. It's completely okay. But what I'm trying to say is like this. If Hebrew is hard for you, just do it in English. But don't do the bilingual. The bilingual Tanya is like very academic.
Don't do lessons.
Do lessons in Tanya, but only the italics, which is only the translation.
Not
Right?
the-
Which one is the translation or which one is the explanation?
Lessons of Tanya.
Italics is the translation. Online, you could actually on Chabad.org, you could actually turn off, you could toggle off the explanations. You stay only with translations. Shouldn't take more than 5 minutes a day. Now, there's 2 long chapters in Tanya, which is 37 and 39. Break that up into 2. So after 55 days, Michelle, you want to sit close or you want to sit like outside? Because I'm giving you away. Shimi doesn't want to sit next to me.
Okay.
Represent group 301. Heartbreaking.
311. I'm 311.
I want to say something about Shimi afterwards. Something nice. Something nice.
Everyone has something about Shimmy, bro.
Something nice.
Every Farbrengen.
Every Farbrengen is about Shimi? Why is that?
That was the main topic.
Because Shimi is not a person. Shimi is an idea.
Okay. Fair enough. I like that.
What? It's a way of life.
You know, it's a
We got 5 years now.
psych ward.
Okay, I didn't know that every Farbrengen is about Shimi. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give you so much attention. Now I understand why you don't want to come sit with me. You don't want so much attention. I say that I'm very impressed that you go every day to the mikveh. You stopped? Oh, yeah. So take a tiny bit l'chaim and say, I'm going to start going again. That's not good. That's not good. What you're doing something amazing.
Me and Mayanot mikvah.
Yeah, in the new building we're going to have a Mayanot mikveh.
And now we just painted all the walls.
In the new building.
Don't wait for the new building.
So make the new building.
5884.
Make the
Is
new
it
building.
happening?
Guys, 5884. Let's go.
Now because of the war, all the Arabs have to be fired because we found on their statuses Hamas things. Yeah. Okay,
So
so
you're saying lessons in Tanya only English.
so what I want to say is like this.
The brother is
Okay.
outside, yeah.
Only the translation. Now, like this, before I come to Zach's problem over here, where Zach says what?
Translation, how can you really understand the idea?
That is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you have to learn how not to get stuck on every detail because you want to get the bigger picture. So Dovi wants to know how to do it. You do it like this. You do every day one chapter quickly. Josh, did I ever share with you this idea? Oh, fine. Josh agrees with me. It's the first time we ever agree on anything. Me and Josh. What? We ever agreed on something?
We disagreed a lot, but not so much.
It's the first thing I remember we agreed on. It's good. It's good. You know, we're very open-minded over here, Mayanot. So it's like everybody could have their own opinion. So open-minded, our brains fall out sometimes. Okay. Understand every detail. You'll go through the whole Tanya in 55 days. After 55 days, you start again. What happened after 6 months? You'll have gone through the Tanya 3 times. If you do it for a year, you went through the Tanya 6 times. You'll start getting a map. Anyone ever saw the map that Chase Taub put out of the Tanya? We once had it over here on the wall somewhere. The Tanya map. I think we should get another Tanya map and put it on the wall. And suddenly you start seeing the map. What's going on? What's the strategy? What is the strategy? Where are we going? Now, obviously, we have to go into a certain chapter, and over there we have to shoot down certain things. But let's first get a map. Did you ever see a person going into a war and not have the whole big map of what's going on? What do you think, Mendel, about this idea?
Brilliant.
It's brilliant, right? Right. I also think that it's a brilliant idea. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I thought in the beginning going to say a good idea, and then I was planning to say good. It's a good idea. It's a brilliant idea. But you said right away brilliant, so I can't argue. What should I do? I want to tell you guys, your life is going to change. Why do I think now? I want to go back to Zach. What Zach said. Zach said, "How could you learn Tanya like that?" I want to say something about the Alter Rebbe. Who am I to even talk about the Alter Rebbe? But I'm trying to make a point. The Alter Rebbe had a divine power, and as I said before, there's a word in English for this. I don't know what a word is in English, but he was able to write something. Anyone that knows the word in English, I would love to hear the word. The Alter Rebbe had a power that he was able to write things, and it could be understood on a lot of different levels. Again, there's a word for that in English. Not only the Tanya, also the Shulchan Aruch. The Alter Rebbe wrote the Shulchan Aruch, and you ask anyone in the world that learns the Shulchan Aruch of the Alter Rebbe, they say, "Oh, I understand what he's saying." Simple people could read the Shulchan Aruch and they just see the halacha. Then there's special
Universal understanding.
column. No, it's not universal. There's special columns. Someone told me that in belts.
Like Shlomo Melech.
That Shlomo Melech is a different idea. I don't remember Shlomo Melech. Shlomo Melech was able to take one thing and explain it with 3,000 metaphors. This is something else. Someone told me that in belts they have a special kollel where they have a lot of very smart people learning the Alter Rebbe, and they realize that every word that the Rebbe chose comes to explain something, hints to a different opinion. Unbelievable. So you could read it in a very simple way, and you could read it on a deeper way. I want to tell you something a bit personal. Every week almost, on a weekly basis, I find, or someone tells me, a new concept that I never realized existed in Tanya. Tanya is a book. Are you aware of the fact that the Alter Rebbe by himself used to learn Tanya? After he printed the Tanya, the Alter Rebbe used to learn Tanya?
What?
And you know, there was once, Chassidim came to the Alter Rebbe. Listen to this story, he said. Chassidim came to the Alter Rebbe, And they told him, Alter Rebbe, say a mimer. The Alter Rebbe didn't want to say a mimer, so he told them in Yiddish, Gazetten wilt ihr? Gazetten? Who knows what gazette means?
Newspaper.
Newspaper, who said that? Ah! Which language?
Polish.
Polish. It's in a lot of languages.
Oh, yeah,
Gazette,
Slavic languages.
in the Slavic languages, it's a newspaper. It says, why do you need news? The Alter Rebbe said, you want Siddur? Learn Tanya. I learned Tanya. Now, what I just thought about is, how did that answer what they were looking for? They were looking for something new. So why are you giving them the Tanya? They already know Tanya. But Tanya is a book.
Is that the word?
Very nice.
Ooh, okay,
All credit to Yaakov.
Yaakov.
Rabbi Peters, you know.
How do you pronounce it?
I have no idea.
Polysemus?
Polysemous.
Let me see it real quick.
Polysemous.
Polysemus?
Polysemous.
What?
Polysemous.
Right?
Policeman. Latin word.
It's a life.
Semi-neutral. Because it's multiple and semi-neutral at the same time.
Huh?
You might have
I see it popping up. I saw what you wrote about the new building.
You might have much stuff. Longest word.
Guys, I want to tell you something. How did Alter Rebbe answer those people? Why am I shouting? Why do I have to shout? How did Alter Rebbe answer their desire? They're coming and they say, we want to hear New Chassidus. Why? Because New Chassidus is exciting. What does Alter Rebbe tell them? Learn Tanya? The Tanya they already read 15 times, 20 times. Oh. You hear what Seth said? That when you learn Tanya, you find always new things. So Dovi, you get the idea? The idea is to get a good command of the book of Tanya, but not learning it deep, learning it very, very quickly. Well, Rabbi Wenger, what do you think about this idea?
I know the Russian.
Is it going into effect?
I think it's good.
Why you learning?
Whatever you want. We don't put any pressure. What?
If you're learning Tanya at a baseline level, then aren't you like missing out?
Oh, so now you're saying like that. That's what I'm trying to say. When you want to go to war in Gaza, first you have to see the whole picture. Then you go down to the details. But I want you to know, Shimi, by the end of the year, I want you to know, what does it say in chapter 1? What does it say in chapter 2? What does it say in chapter 3? What does it say in chapter 4? You know these things most probably. Guys, what does it say in chapter 1 in Tanya? Nefesh Bahamis.
The four elements.
He's going into the details. In 2 words. The first. What is the second parak? Nefesh. What is the third parak? 10 koiches. What is the fourth parak? The 3 levushim. The 5th parak? Torah. 6th? The powers of the the powers of
Those are
7th is 8th is about
That's what. That works. 5 minutes a day? That's it?
no, yeah, only 5 minutes a day.
Like a book.
Exactly. I used to say back in the day, like Seth said, just read it like a book. Back in the day, I don't want to be kicked. I don't want to lose my job in Mayanot. What?
Who would decide that?
Who would kick me out?
Who would kick you out?
You know, sometimes when I come late for 6 in the morning, I kick myself out.
You have the other parts of time. Just read it like this.
Yeah, but not the bilingual. It's too academic.
You don't want this.
I want the lessons in Tanya, but only the italics. Only the translation. Let's make sure that the italics is the translation. Let's make sure. But what do they want to say? So Seth said you should read it like a book. What? I used to say, I don't want to get exactly, only the italics. Just read it like I used to say, read it in bed. Read it in bed. See, that's why the shluchim left. That's why Rabbi Wenger wants to leave now. How could a chassid say by Farbrengen to read Tanya in bed? That's why you're leaving. You're right. But sometimes,
What about the word going to sleep?
Rabbi Gopin, the Mashpiach for Chabad, says, make sure to go to sleep with the Perek of Tanya. Your life is going to be different. Whatever you read before you go to sleep, that's what you live with. Go to sleep like a yid. Go to sleep like a yid.
I'm supposed to read a Chassidish story.
But then you could still read. Perek Tanya.
Okay. You can't say that loud.
So that's the point I want to make about Tanya. But this was all a prerequisite to saying, "Hi, Mayor." Oh, look how all my friends.
Where's that make us that?
Isaac Evers, right? No, yeah. Come, sit. Only if you want. I don't want to focus on. I want to focus on whoever is here. It's completely okay. So one of the things that is very hard to understand is the whole idea of having a rebbe. I didn't grow up.
What does that have to do with Tanya?
You want to Farbrengen? I will listen to you. But guys, it's a Farbrengen together. The whole idea of having a rebbe is an idea that is very hard to understand. I didn't grow up Chabad, and I only found Chabad in a later stage of my life. I found Chassidus in a later stage of my life, and most probably those of you that grew up Chabad over here their whole lives, they're wondering, like, what's the big deal? What's so hard to understand about the idea of a rebbe? But I could tell you, as someone that didn't grow up Chabad, I grew up frum. I grew up in Borough Park, spoke only Yiddish. I learned English over here in Mayanot when I started teaching over here 23 years ago. But the idea of a rebbe, like, why in the world do you need a rebbe? Why do you need something between you and God? In fact, you're not allowed to serve an idol. You're not allowed
It's
to.
the same reason we eat Rashi.
So you're already going to the answer. You're already going to the answer.
Say better.
You are already.
Freshman rabbi.
You are already jumping to the answers. I want to first explain to you.
No, you're right.
I want to first explain to you the problem. The problem is that when you grow up religious, you know one of the things that is one of the 13 principles of the Jewish faith is that you're not allowed to have a mediator between you and God. And this whole thing, talking about the Rebbe, connection to the Rebbe. So Alex says that it's like Rashi. But the difference is no one connects to Rashi. People learn Rashi's interpretation. People try to understand Rashi, things like that. But
It doesn't become personal.
it also doesn't become personal. Also, there's no concept of connecting. There's no concept of connecting to the Rebbe. And this is something that was really, really bothersome. And it took me a long, long time to overcome that issue. And that's why I think if there is any interest, we could discuss it. We could discuss this issue. But if not, we can discuss other things. It's not a problem. But this is a topic. This is a topic that I think that definitely deserves a real Farbrengen. Farbrengen means that we sit together and we try to we try to listen, we try to internalize, we question, but it has to be a group effort. That's the difference in a class and a Farbrengen. A class, the teacher talks, whoever wants to listen listens, or doesn't want to listen. Over here, it can only be developed when you're talking about things. Why do we need Farbrengen? Why couldn't we just have classes? It's because Chassidus,
There's not this much for you.
Chassidus, guys, Chassidus. Oh, hi David.
How's it going? How's it going?
Do you sizzle? That's where sizzle on.
DC, dressed in best.
Do you sizzle?
Appreciate that, bro. You too. Look at you.
Guys, Chassidus is not something that you can just learn out of a book. I want to ask you a question.
You told me every time.
It's not something that you could just learn. Oh, but afterwards you have to Farbrengen.
Told us that we have to
Sit.
learn.
Very good.
Grandma said
So Seth and Shemay ask a very good question. Your name is Shemay.
Chimney.
They're asking a very, very good question. Like, why you just said to learn. So I want to ask you a question. Anyone over here is aware, you know what residency means?
Yes.
People go and learn for years how to become doctors. So you learn over there, let's say 6 or 7 years. If you want to take a special niche, I think you have to add another 3 years. And then you can't become a doctor right away. You have to do residency for a year or 2, sometimes 3 years. That's when you learn medicine. Then there are other, what else do you need to do something similar to residency? Internship. You want to become a lawyer. So you learn law for how many years do you learn law? 7 years? Yeah, maybe in order to become
You a lawyer?
maybe in order to become,
American or British?
maybe he's talking about becoming a barrister.
I took my LSAT before I came here.
So maybe becoming a
Before I came
barrister,
here.
you need 7 years.
I took my LSAT before I came
You still?
Huh? A barrister. That's a lawyer in England.
here. The wig.
I thought someone makes.
No, the wig is the judge is with the wig.
Remember
The judge is with the wig.
It runs in the royal courts.
It's okay. Okay, but why? But then, after you learn 7 years, guys, my ADD is kicking in. I can't, you have no idea. There's always terrible. You know what ADHD stands for?
Attention deficit.
Attention deficit,
Hyperactive.
hyperactive. Oh, a bird.
That's just a distraction. That's not ADHD.
Okay.
That's Steven's name.
So I get very easily distracted, which is a problem, but it's a problem.
It's true.
So
L'chaim to that.
oh, l'chaim. So I wanna. What was I in the middle of saying? So why does a lawyer, someone that studied law, why do they need, after studying for so many years, why do they need to do internship? So some of you are going to say right away, it's because you have to, I don't know, what are you going to say? Why?
Exposure and experience.
Exposure and experience.
I worked in law firm for 6 years. You know the reason why? Because you need exposure and experience.
So Alex says, because you need exposure and experience. But I don't understand, why do you need exposure and experience if you learn the textbooks? So no one over here, no one in their right mind will say that the reason that you could become a lawyer without learning textbooks. If you don't learn any textbooks, how in the world are you going to? So that's the answer to what you guys asked before. So why didn't you just talk about learning? Obviously you need to learn first. But then there's certain things that a textbook cannot give it to you. And in the words of Alex, and it's a very, very powerful words, exposure and experience. But Alex, try to explain to us why you can't get exposure and experience from learning, reading a book. So if you're going to tell me, but Rabbi, certain circumstances and certain instances are not written in the book, so let's add another few pages to the book. Anyone over here that ever bought any textbook, if you go to college, every year they put out a new version, a new edition, and you have to pay another $300, and the first edition or last year's edition is completely obsolete. You can't do anything with it. So just add another few pages to that fat book, and that's it. Yalla, why do you need internship?
You're supposed to do it yourself.
Why? But try to explain to us why you need.
It's not a part of you. You have to be able to really know how to think about what it's like to see the color.
Because certain things cannot be written down in a book. Certain things you need to live it. And that is what a Farbrengen is. If you just learn Chassidus and you don't know how to come to a Farbrengen and listen in a Farbrengen and sing along in a Farbrengen and share stories in a Farbrengen and bring yourself to the table, you're not exposed and you don't experience Chassidus. You learn Chassidus, but you didn't do your internship.
Okay. Why is that?
Why?
Why is Farbrengen?
Because Chassidus is not something that you could just learn. By the way, there's a lot of professions that you could just learn. But almost any profession that has anything to do with something deeper, like medicine, it's people's life, or even treating students. I know, for example, my wife is a BCBA. And she's called behavior analyst. She deals. No, it's not psychology. She deals with kids with ASD, autism syndrome disorder. I don't know.
Yeah.
Spectrum. I don't know. Or spectrum. So, I don't know. She has to. In order to get the license, you have to do like 500 hours of supervision. Why? Because you're not dealing with a textbook. You're dealing with life, and that's what a Farbrengen is. That's the reason why if Farbrengen we have food, and we have friends, and we have nigunim, and we have storytelling, and we have some jokes, and we have some mashka, and we have why? Because it's not about the textbook. It's not about the textbook, guys. Certain things you can't write in the textbook.
Then I have a question.
Well, yeah. What's your
Let's
question?
say Bucker came here because, there's nothing to do. And wanted to drink a little bit of mashka and have a little bit of fun, right? What should their one takeaway from this entire Farbrengen be?
From this Farbrengen?
From this Farbrengen specifically.
Oh, this Farbrengen I want to take away should start reading Tanya. That's what I would want. But I can't tell you what your takeaway should be. Your takeaway could be a lot of other things.
on a
But let's sing
general
an
level.
eagle because all the people on the everybody is going to take away something else.
But if there's one
Yeah,
value.
I don't want to make too heavy the achlotas, but the people on the live feed say that we didn't sing Nigunim for a while already.
I mean, no.
What?
Chat something crazy.
Yeah.
Spam L's in the chat. Spam L's in the chat.
I asked the question, but to be honest,
Drop a donut. Drop a donut.
I don't feel that there's enough interest.
No.
Very good. Maybe like this. But don't get off. Is this on?
No, I can't use it because my phone turns off 11.
Very cool. That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh,
Well, it turns off, but like
Thank
no
you.
internet, like what's it?
just need closer.
Yeah, basically.
I wish I did that. I
Oh,
wish
battery phone's dying.
Well, let's sing a niggin of.
Should we sing like a fast nigga?
What are the people?
No. One of the things, thank you, Yaakov. One of the things that we're going to learn over here in Mayanot slowly, it will take a while, but we're going to start learning the Mayanot and the Farbrengen. is sitting together, singing slow nigunim. Because usually, lately, there's like a new custom. Right away, like 5 minutes into the Farbrengen, comes like a happy nigun. People start dancing, and every time they dance, half of the guys leave.
Is it good?
Because the idea of a nigun, the end of the Farbrengen is a time to dance. But the whole idea of a Farbrengen is to sit together, internalize, be friends together, be with each other, care for each other, listen to each other. So let's sing a Geschmack nigun. Which Geschmack are we going to nigun? Which Geschmack nigun are we going to sing? That's the beginning of the nigun?
No.
Maybe it is? This nigun is the baby nigun, and it starts like this. That thing was the Benedict. What's your name? You look familiar, and I just don't remember. Oh, so what? What's your name? Arye? Zeiler. Nice, beautiful, beautiful. So your parents live over here?
Yo, yucky.
What?
That's your?
Oh, so what's there?
So, really, we want to know. Avremel says that I should answer the question. Fine. It's a long and complicated. There was once a chassid There was one time a chassid wouldn't ask this question because chassidim grow up knowing they grow up with it. But I didn't grow up as a chassid. Yeah, and I didn't grow up as a chassid, so that's why it was harder for me to connect to this idea.
You were born a chassid, so reveal it.
Could be, yeah, and that could be. I'm trying, still working very hard. You think it's so easy?
I'm 100% sure you were born a chassid.
So I want to share with you something. There's different opinions. There's Shimmy. There's different opinions. Educationally, I'm just sharing with you educationally. What your ADD is speaking. Fair, okay.
Bud,
You fell for it though.
I'm gonna get you back.
There's a educational dilemma. See a bacher going to the mikveh every day. Hypothetically speaking, is it something that you should encourage or not? What is the educational dilemma? Some people might come and say, like, oh, really? Why focus on something that looks so external? Why not focus more on the person coming to all the classes, learning, getting better marks on their tests? Going to the mikveh is easy. It's not very easy, but it's much easier. Like, for example, let's use an example in Lubavitch. Chassidus Chabad is about learning and understanding and thinking Chassidus and davening. Very few people know how to do that. Very few people really put the effort in having a really deep davenings. Right? But when it comes, that's another good conversation. I'm thinking that's
Rome wasn't
people.
built in a day.
What?
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Like you said,
No, we should discuss that. But I have like a rule after teaching for so long. If I see interest, I go for it. Otherwise, it's like those people that give speeches by Sheva Brachas. No one is interested in listening. Why are you talking? Why are you talking? And then everyone says, "Yo, give a speech." No one is listening. That was I don't like talking. I like having, I'm a very introverted person. I hate big parties and where no one is saying anything. I like having conversations with people. I'm an introvert. So, what? Okay. Oh, Pinto is here.
JP.
Pinto Rebbe. As a
So I was in the middle of saying something. So davening, putting in a lot of Seth is asking, what is the davening meant to look like? That's a very good conversation. We should maybe sit one day in Farbrengen, maybe one Thursday night after the Lukut Torah. We learn the Lukut Torah in the Lukut Torah Club. We should bring up this topic and discuss
this
it.
week. We'll be careful
This week, Thursday night, I'm
Saturday,
Farbrengen. So, I know it's hard because last week I was by a wedding, and we don't want to cancel the Lukut Torah Club, and we usually don't. But this week I have to go Farbrengen somewhere. What?
No, it must go on.
Yeah, it's going to go on. And maybe one week we'll talk about it. So there's so many more people saying Tehillim Shabbos Mevarchim. Shabbos Mevarchim, it's Chabad custom to say Tehillim Shabbos morning. And there's the famous saying that when you say Tehillim Shabbos Mevarchim, it will affect you and your kids and your grandchildren. Saying Tehillim Shabbos Mevarchim, it's not easy. For me, it takes about 2 hours. Some people it takes 4 hours. And so many more people are willing to put in the effort to say 4 hours Tehillim than to add another 10 minutes to their davening. You know why?
You know
You know why? They don't know what it is, but it also takes so much more internal effort. Saying Tehillim, it's okay. It's external effort.
Makes you feel good also.
If you would try to daven for 10 minutes, it makes you feel much better than saying to the whole Tehillim.
No, but so you
But
How
it
do you know you're
takes-
diving right? How do you- Is there
You
an
know.
equation?
It's not
Yeah,
an equation.
something which is a daily thing.
Doesn't
It's
have to-
not going to make you feel.
We're not talking about daily. We're not talking about daily. We're talking about Chassidim that used to try to daven on Shabbos, this, and every week I want to try to daven every week, but it's so hard. I'm not focused. I have to go home. But to say Tehillim takes 2 hours. I don't remember missing the Shabbos and Baruch not saying Tehillim.
Adding
Because we have a
something-
tendency, you know the expression that says water goes where there's the least resistance.
Also, Rabbi, saying daily davening, I think.
Not talking daily, not
No,
talking daily.
no, no, no.
Chassidim didn't start with davening daily. We're talking not the regular davening.
You're saying estimates for one extra davening, just today.
Shabbos.
You want to talk about davening? We can talk about davening. We could talk about davening.
Okay.
But I'll get to it in a second because I also have maybe Dovi wants to know a trick on davening too. You want to know a trick on davening? Okay, so we'll also talk about davening. But the first thing I wanna say though is that it's so much easier to do something very hard when it's external than bringing your real heart and mind and be there completely present and doing something internal. So therefore, from a educational perspective, someone might come and say, why do you encourage going to the mikveh? Mikveh looks like something external. But I disagree with that approach. I want to say that going to the mikveh every day is not external. Going to the mikveh every day, maybe the action is external, but it's called in Chassidus makif. Makif and chitzonius are not the same thing. Chitzonius is external. Makif in Chassidus is encompassing. A person, it's not something that you do something internal. And some people might come and say that thinking 5 minutes Chassidus is stronger than any mikveh in the world. And I have friends of mine that I argue with and they say the same thing. I beg to differ. It's true that it has a deeper impact, but mikveh purifies the soul. Mikveh purifies the soul. It takes you to a different place. So someone might come and ask, but if you it takes you to a different place, but you don't do the right thing, right? But you know the difference? The difference is there's a major difference between a soldier and a citizen that is very devoted for the country. You can have a soldier that his job is to empty a few garbage cans. I used to go Mivtzoyim every Friday. I used to go on the army base next to Beitar. And I once asked the guy, what is your job in the army? He says, there's 2 garbage cans over here, 2 garbage bins, and my job is empty out the garbage. And then you can have a person that is a citizen, and they do so much for the army, they do so much for the country, but you're not a soldier. What am I trying to say? Trying to say that there's certain spiritual things that you do that put you in a different place. Obviously, it's important to invest, and obviously it's important to learn Chassidus and to understand Chassidus and internalize, but sometimes doing certain things that are not necessarily internal,
It's an investment.
it's an investment, and it actually takes you to a different place. A person that goes to the mikveh, after going to the mikveh, the chassidus is a different chassidus. The davening is a different davening. The learning is a different learning. And again, obviously, if you don't do anything with it, so it's like being in the army, but emptying twice a day 2 garbage bins. Right, but you're still a soldier. I hope I was clear. I hope it was clear. Let's sing a niggin, and I want to talk a few minutes about davening, and then we'll call it a night, and we'll start dancing. We have to dance. It's a Farbrengen for a wedding. For a wedding. What?
The dance.
Oh, so that's what we said before. Want to dance, but we want to start getting used to over here, Mayanot. The dancing should be more towards the end, because the idea of Farbrengen is to sit together. If you could start dancing right away,
The bugs kick in, ADD.
no, it's not sitting together. It's just like some people sit dance. It looks like similar. It looks like more similar to a pub, a club. We want to sit together. Hasidim used to say like this. Hasidim used to say like this. You're choking. Hasidim used to say like this. By other Hasidim, sometimes. Listen, guys. It's actually the Rebbe said it once. But sometimes the other Hasidim they start the Farbrengens with dancing. Chabad starts from the brain.
Left arm.
You talk about an
Your hands up
idea.
and say hallelujah.
You talk about an idea, then you bring it down into your heart, and then from your heart it comes down into your feet. It's a process. You don't start dancing right away. You go through the process. So let's sing a Geschmack Nigel.
We prepare for Yudis Kislev.
Exactly, that's what we're doing now. What are we doing?
We sing
Oh.
Parashan.
Oh, you want to sing Pada B'Shalom? Very good. I personally don't like Pada B'Shalom.
Really?
It's not today's Zayas.
Because it's not,
Beautiful name.
but it's like more cantorial. Chassid Shenigim comes from the heart. Shenigim.
Well, depends on the way you deliver.
What?
Depends on the way you deliver it. You can always.
Pada B'Shalom is a chazonish shtickle.
Pick your nigga.
We just sang it. I will sing the Beinoni. This is the middle level. mistake. This is not the middle Rebbe's niggin. This is really a niggin of the Tzemach Tzedek, and this is called the niggin Nishtachos. Just my battery is about to die. Anyone has like a power bank or something to connect? No problem.
One of the good ones?
If it's very easy for you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
On all the wire though.
What?
What phone do you use?
It's a Type C.
USB-C. Fine.
Scott, Jay Pizzle, tay you. Way to work.
I want to what?
Okay.
I want to hear about davening. Dovi wants to hear about davening.
What the question?
No one wants to hear that.
No one wants to answer?
No one wants to hear
How about
that.
Question of what?
I quit.
Question of what?
But Dovi wants to know about it.
I'm gonna quit.
Don't give up so easily.
Don't come up.
Sure.
Sure. It's every day.
Take it tomorrow.
It's every day.
Trying.
Tomorrow Monday.
It's a long answer. You need.
Why
Why do you need a Rebbe?
Why do you need a Rebbe?
Why is it needed? Why is this special question?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Thank you.
You asked the question.
I asked a
I'll
question.
go. Okay, fine. You first.
Everyone else says they want to know.
That's just the sticker
Rabbi,
guy.
davening is a side check. I have to go to
Do Rebbe? I want to talk. I know the Rebbe is a longer thing. I want to talk about davening, and I want to.
I want
What?
to talk about the
I
Rebbe.
want to talk about davening. Oh, look who's here. L'chaim, everyone.
I want to talk about the Rebbe.
Josh, you want to know how to daven a bit better? What is the challenge in davening, guys? Dov, you can't sit.
Concentrate.
You have to go to sleep? What? Oh, why? Oh, concentration, that's really the big, that's what Al Rebbe calls in chapter 42 in Tanya, that a person has to serve Hashem, Yegias Nefesh, Yegias Basar.
So speak it out.
What? Yegias Nefesh, Yegias Basar. What is the Yegias Nefesh and Yegias Basar? So Yegias Nefesh means toiling of the soul. Toiling of the soul is to fight the mind one. Some guys asked about davening. What are we trying to do in davening? We want the words to start being emotional. Yeah, imagine, guys. Imagine a person talks like this. Imagine your parents would talk to you like this, or you would talk to your child like this. I love you. I love you. Happy birthday. This is your birthday gift. I love you. There's no feeling in those words. And Chassidim wanted that the words in davening should.
You don't smoke, do you?
No.
It don't look like it.
The Chassidim wanted. L'chaim, everyone. Chassidim wanted that the words in davening should be very meaningful. But now Shimi says, what do you do if my mind wanders? It's very hard.
My mind doesn't wander.
Oh, I'm sorry. Or Dovi said, what should I do if my mind wanders? And therefore, I want to suggest the following. David, are you interested in having a bit more of a davening? No, yes? One at a time with davening? Very good, very good. Because that's really what Chassidus is all about.
Past couple of months, thank God, I've been really focusing on davening.
Wow.
And
Amazing.
I'm gonna. No, it's seriously, I don't know, like, it's no longer a burden for me. I actually enjoy it. Like, it's like, I sit down and I feel like I can just, very calming. It's nice, thank God, so.
That's inspirational.
Very good, very good. I want to be like David when I grow up. But I'm not planning to grow up. That's the point. But,
No, it's definitely small. I'm not trying to say, like,
no. This is a very special. But I want to go a bit more into detail because people want a bit more practical. What you're saying, I want to explain what he just said. What David is saying is something that Chassidim used to call it Zichstellen Davenen. Zichstellen Davenen in Yiddish means to position yourself to position yourself in a davening state. So he says, he sits down and he davens. Tell me if I described right what you were saying now. He sits down and he davens. He goes into a different place. It's very calming. That's Chassidim also, we're very into that. Before you daven, you try not to do things. The Rebbe Rashab says it. Other Hasidic Rebbeim also said the same thing. Before davening, try to do the least things possible. Try even not to talk any idle talk before davening. Why? Because you want to. You want what?
Zen.
You don't want to be distracted. Anything that we do before davening gets our mind into something else. But I want to suggest something else. I want to try to say it's very hard for us to daven the whole davening with a lot of meditation, a lot of depth. How about doing something like this? But let's not call it a achlata, but really, if anyone wants to really change their lives, try this. Every day, focus on one verse. Besides the regular davening, try to focus on one verse.
What does that mean?
I'm going to explain everything very detailed. I could see you never had me as a teacher, right?
Whoa. Remember, you wanted attention, you should have just told us.
I would suggest a night before, look up the words. Look up the translation of the words. You look up the translation of the words, and you learn the meaning of the words of the verse. Ma toivu oyalecha Yaakov mishkanesecha Yisrael. How good is your tents, Jacob? If you want to talk, tiny bit quiet. No, tiny bit quiet. It's like, you could talk. You can continue talking. No one has to listen to me. Just be quiet. You learn the words. The next day, when you come to say the words, guys, try not to say the words right away. Before you say the words, look at the words. Think about those words. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. After you think about them, try to feel the words. What do you mean try to feel the words? Try not to feel your own feelings. Don't think how excited you are. That's more connected. Who was the bucket that asked before? Why do people go like this? Who asked it? Zach. That's a whole different style of davening. I actually grew up with that style, where you try Hayakiva.
Guys, in the corner.
It's me, right? Where I grew up, davening was more trying to get excited. Over here, we're not trying to get excited because it's not about my emotions. But I want to feel the words, the meaning of the words. The meaning of the words means the definition of the words, but then the words have emotions. The word has an emotional baggage to those words. For example, when you say, lucky are those that are in your home. So the first part, you think about it. Really, do I think that lucky are those that are sitting in God's home? Or really, I think lucky are those that are sitting in their Teslas? Or lucky are those that are sitting in their office on Wall Street? So that's something you could think about. But then, after you think about it, and that's it. Every day, only one verse, and give for that verse 60 seconds. You look at the words, think of the words, try to connect to the words, and then enunciate the words. Then say the words. Then the rest of the davening, you move on. You'll realize something very interesting. Every day you're going to have another verse that you thought about. After a month, you'll have 30 verses that the verses will have emotional baggage in a positive way, not in a bad way. The verses will have an emotional connection to them. You'll say the words. You'll say the words Va'ani b'roiv chazdecha, and I, with your great loving kindness, avei beisecha, I come to your house. You'll be able to be grateful to Hashem. You'll be able to be grateful to Hashem that He gave you the schus, that you even go to shul. So many people don't know about shul. So many people don't have the ability to go to shul. And slowly, what you're going to be able to do is find davening to be not only saying words, but also connection. And the words in davening are going to carry in them an emotional, again, I don't want to say the word baggage, because baggage usually means something negative, has a negative connotation. But the words in davening are going to carry some emotional weight to them.
How about, what does that mean?
Yeah. What does that mean?
Emotional weight. Like,
What does it mean emotional weight?
I think what
The words "I love you," when you tell your child "I love you," the words are just words, or they have a certain meaning. You could get, or when you tell your child, even when you tell your mother "I miss you," yeah, the words "I miss you" are not just dry words. They have to them an emotion connected to them, and that's what we want to try to do in davening. Want to try to do in davening that when we say a line in davening, we're there, we're present, we're with the word. The word means something.
how about,
Yeah.
why does it not come naturally?
Oh, why doesn't it come naturally? What's your first name, Pinto? Josh. Josh Pinto asks, why doesn't it come naturally? The answer is because just like a vessel cannot contain fire and water together, it's very hard to love physicality and God too. Because we're very physical people and we don't work enough on our spirituality, we are naturally, if I'll tell you about a type of ice cream, you'll start salivating. Talk about God, it's a bit far out, it's far-fetched.
So how can we suspend our physical thoughts?
That's another conversation. We have to be a tiny bit more vigilant about what? We have to be a tiny bit more vigilant about indulging in physicality.
During the day?
In general, not to be controlled by our desires. Having self-control. Do you ever hear about the marshmallow
Yes,
experiment?
Kids.
David, did you ever hear about the marshmallow experiment?
No.
The marshmallow experiment goes like this. This is something that I think that a post-high school Bachman would really appreciate. Because you guys are young and you want to be successful in life. The marshmallow experiment goes like this. Noach, you know the marshmallow experiment?
Heard about it, but I never really know.
Oh yeah? What have you heard about it?
What is it, like a marshmallow?
Oh, how did you know?
They took.
Bro, what? Like,
You want to hear about the marshmallow experiment?
Is this like a real thing?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. David, I think you'll appreciate it. I'm not sure. I don't know. I never had you as a student. I don't know you personally. I only taught your sisters. Why are you laughing?
I don't
Why
understand
would I-
why that's funny.
Why is that funny?
Why is that funny? Amazing sisters. They were
My
my
sisters
students.
actually,
What?
my sisters called me before as I was applying to Mayanot, and they specifically mentioned their favorite rabbis, and then they said, "Rabbi Kaufman or Rabbi Levinger," said they were amazing. So they said you're an amazing teacher.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. But I remember, I have very fond memories. I used to run the Mayanot Women's Program. I founded the Mayanot Women's Program, and I ran it for 9 years.
Are you still involved in it?
I don't talk to girls anymore.
Me too.
Talk about? So,
A lot of my siblings went.
yeah, I remember all these sisters. Not all, a lot of them. But they used to always come visit, and it was your father and mother. Stop.
Farbrengen.
It's not, he's throwing a bunch of seeds at me.
Yeah.
Kindergarten.
You know what they say about Snickers, huh?
What?
Stop.
Back to Don.
No, I want to talk about the marshmallow.
Doty's diving right now.
Rama.
Doty's diving right
Talk
now.
about the marshmallow.
We'll talk about the marshmallow because Duffy asked about being involved in physicality, and I want to finish because tomorrow at 7:30 we're going to learn Chassidus together. So they took a group of 4 kids, or 3 kids, I don't remember, 3 kids, they put them into a room, and they put a warm marshmallow on their plate. And they told them like this: you could either eat the marshmallow now, or you could wait 5 minutes.
Oh, that sounds
And if you wait 5 minutes, you get 2 marshmallows. The kids that were able to hold, the kids that were able to withstand the temptation, they did research, they did a lot of research, they found that these kids, 20 years later, were more successful in life. They were more successful in life than those kids that didn't know how to practice, how do you call it?
Self-control.
Discipline. What?
Self-control.
Self-control. Why is it? Because really success in life is all based on your ability to focus. People that don't have the ability to focus, people that don't have the ability to focus also have a harder time to hold themselves to self-control. And you can't really,
How are these two
you can't.
How are these two connected?
I'll explain it in a second. It's a very good question. But a person that can't control themselves can't really reach anything in life, because you can't achieve anything. How are they both connected? They're connected because both are based on the inability to withstand distractions.
Yeah, but when child
Second,
decides that they're not having a marshmallow,
before you ask, try to understand what I just answered. I have no problem. I've done so much research about it, and I could talk a lot about it, and I think that that's also what it's called in Chassidus, the idea of das. But first, no. Baruch Shalom Lev is a whole other thing. We're talking now about das. When I am focused, the inability to withstand temptations is very connected to the idea of me being distracted. Distraction means that there's something that pulls me away from my ground.
Those kids, when they decided, they made a decision. It's a 2-second decision, right? They decided, from the first second that they were not going to have the marshmallow because it pays to have 2.
Right.
Or for 5 minutes they were rethinking it.
Yeah.
No, everybody wants to have 2 marshmallows.
Right.
And that's why all of them start not eating that marshmallow. But then you see people that can't control themselves, and they're taken over by the smell of the marshmallow, and then they cave in.
So the whole 5 minutes is a back and forth, and it's you have to control your focus.
Exactly. It's not. No, over there it's not controlling your focus, but it's the same ability of holding your ground.
Right.
And that's why you'll see people with less das also they have more problems with self-control, and anything distracting they also get more easier. They get offended more easily. Why do they get offended more easily? Because everybody would get offended. But the question is, how much does that thing have the ability to affect you?
Because if you're focused, if you're constantly focused, then something like coming in in the middle is not bothering you. If somebody
Don't think about
every
it.
second is another living, is another whatever. So automatically when they're offended, it's they're in a new state. Because every second they're in a new state.
So that's why
They're not focused on the.
That's why I'm saying.
Single.
I think that you're getting what I'm saying. I just want to point out, don't use the word focus. Because the word focus is usually connected more to the idea of thinking about something. The focus is an outcome of a person being rooted. A tree that has strong roots, it's very hard to budge it. That's why a person that is rooted strongly, when he thinks, he's focused. So focus is when he thinks. It's an outcome. Focus in Chassidus, in Peri Gimel in Tanya, where he talks about das being focused, it says clearly in Chassidus that that's the lowest level of das. If you want, I'll show you. There's 4 different levels of das. What it says over there in Peri Gimel is the lowest level, the ability to focus. But really, what das is your connection, your right. But all different levels are iskashas. But the question is, who are you? Exactly. Continuous self-identity. And that's why it's very hard. For example, the Gemara. In the Gemara, what is the example in the Gemara for a person that lacks das? That you have the ability to convince them. You have the ability to incite them to do Aveira. That's the Gemara's example for someone that claimed that they have das, and the Gemara wanted to prove that they don't have das, so they were sent to incite them to the Aveira. Self-control. The person was very strong, but the other person came every day, and then said, "Oh, that proves you don't have das." That's why people with lack of das get very easily offended, get very easily distracted, have issues with self-control. Everything stems from the inability of being rooted. Who am I? Now, to daven the whole davening is very hard. That's why I suggested every day take one verse, one pasuk, and that pasuk, try to be with that pasuk for 30 seconds.
It just feels like you can't even control it sometimes. It's not like a conscious thought.
What conscious thought?
Meaning, you'll be davening and distractions pops up. It's not even something you can control most of the time. It's just, you read the words, next thing you know, it's another thought. Another thought, and your mind's
So that's why if you prepare the pasuk from before, and when you come to that pasuk, you look at the pasuk, you think about the pasuk, you try to connect to the pasuk, and then you say the pasuk for those 30 seconds. In the beginning, it's going to be hard. 30 seconds, then you can go up to 31 seconds. Or if 30 seconds is too long, you can do it 5 seconds. But those 5 seconds, then it can go up to 6 seconds. Those few seconds, just be connected to that pasuk.
What is being connected to
translation?
That you're listening to what the pasuk is saying, and you're not only listening to the translation, but also to the emotional weight that the pasuk is carrying. What is the pasuk trying to say?
You're breaking
Listening
it up
to the
into
pasuk,
into smaller pieces.
right? The smaller pieces, but not only the intellectual value of the pasuk, but also the emotional value of the pasuk.
Like
Not your emotion.
V'secha means not only that Asher Yesh V'secha means also what Asher Yesh V'secha in contrast to whatever in the bigger picture.
I don't know if the word is in contrast. The word Asher Yesh V'secha, it's a poetic line. It's not just saying 1 + 1 = 2. Asher Yesh V'secha has a certain emotion to it.
The tone?
Not your emotions. You could also say it with the tone.
Meaning,
Yeah,
is what it's saying to me or what I'm saying?
right. Or then you listen to the pasuk, you try to connect the pasuk, and then you pronounce the pasuk. Even this, you look at the words Asher Yesh V'secha. Lucky are those that sit in your house. What does that mean? Lucky are those sitting in your house. Do I actually think that? Or lucky are those that are sitting in their private jet? Now you think about the idea, yeah. So there's a certain value for sitting in Hashem's home. And this pasuk expresses a certain, just, you can't explain poetry. Why can't you explain poetry?
It's personal. I don't relate to it the same way you relate to it.
Right, but also the words mean something else for everyone. For the words mean something else to every person. and therefore the you could listen to poetry and hear the person singing it, the person saying it, and then you say it in your own words.
But the problem with Tehillim is that I usually feel that way, is that I first have to understand the situation, to my ability, the situation David HaMelech was in when he said this pusik, and I can apply my situation to his situation, and then I can relate to it.
I think that what you're doing now is overcomplicating it in order to don't have to. It's like you can imagine. I understand that we don't have a background in poetry, but anyone.
There's a background of what David HaMelech's life was and when he said
But when you read,
whatever.
but when you read poetry, you don't need to know where the person was. You could very easily connect and hear what a person is saying. You have to know where David HaMelech was when he says, Bo mayim ad nafesh. Why do you have to know where he was? Or he's, I don't know, Bo mayim ad nafesh is not until, but
Kivati b'vein mitzilu.
Tivati b'vein mitzula. What is it? What? It's in that room.
No way.
No, there's a. Just ask him to close the door. But there's another Farbrengen over there?
There's one upstairs.
Maybe?
I think it's all the sicker people under there.
Just let's we'll close the door. Anyways, we're finishing because we have to we have to learn Chassidus tomorrow morning. But this is a very important point. Don't try to feel your emotions. That's feeling your emotions. That's the beginning of the Mayanot, according to Chassidus Chabad. In other places, is different. What?
I'm pretty convinced that that's true.
Yeah, but Chassidus Chabad is trying to feel the emotion of the thing. What does the pasuk say?
And what does it say to me? That's already the Mayanot. Wouldn't that mean that it actually reflects on my avodah?
Yeah.
Like, am I really convinced that
what it says to me is not so much what does it tell me to do the next thing.
the way I see the post?
It's not about how you
What
see
the
it.
pasuk is saying. What the pasuk is saying. It's for that you need an open heart. You need an open heart.
So Pasuk saying to me,
No. That will just confuse.
what I'm saying,
What is the pasuk saying? What is the pasuk saying?
and then how is it being said at the tone?
Then you express
To
it.
me.
What
To
does
God.
it say?
You know, to God.
How what I'm saying to God and the tone I'm saying the word, the verse.
Right. Well, you have to know like this. So this tells us that our neshama is constantly praying. Our neshama is constantly saying those verses. In davening, you're listening into your neshama's experience, and your neshama is saying the words of Tehillim. That's a whole other conversation. But that's more or less the idea of davening is to listen into your neshama's experience. So, for example, that's why we say the words of Tehillim instead of saying our own words, because these are the words that neshama say. So, for example, you say the words "Vani b'rev chazdecha avi besecha," and I, with your great loving kindness, I come to your home.
So
So what is that saying? Is it just talking about something technical? Thank you, God, for helping me walk to your home, or has so much more emotional weight. And God, you're so kind. Your kindness makes one acknowledge and feel the importance and the need to come to your home.
Should I speak this out in my head? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Is
Only
this like the
30
way
seconds.
that, is this?
Yeah.
Is the point of this to disconnect yourself as much as possible from the equation? Like the Tehillim, you're relating to how it relates to God, not relating to you or relating anything about you. We don't say our own words because we want to take ourselves out of it.
We want to take our egos out of it, not ourselves. Our true selves, we want it to be a part of it.
How does the ego get involved in that?
Believe me, if you make it very personal, could be so full of ego.
The more personal you get,
I would
the higher the
like-
risk of ego.
There's two types of personal. Oh, okay, this is something else. That's a mitzvah.
You can get
If
really
you need
fucked up.
something,
I guess so.
that's already a mitzvah. If you need
Everything
something,
we have is
ask
me,
Hashem.
because it's gone a second.
Yeah, but the part of davening that talks about needs is only the part in Shemona Esrei. Leading up to Shemona Esrei is a relationship. It's a relationship. That's the main point of davening. It's a relationship.
In Chassidus is
How does that
considered the most important part of davening.
No, Shema Yisrael.
When you Shema
Shema
Yisrael,
Yisrael is
when you Shema Yisrael, Baruch Hashem, you'll have to.
right.
Like, what does that mean? I know this.
What is what?
You Shema Yisrael, Baruch Hashem, go ahead.
That's when you realize the unity of God. Chassidus, for some reason, believes that if the more the unity of God is going to be in our brains, understood, the more God will be a true reality in our beings. A true reality in our lives.
How does saying the words connect you together? That's the whole point of prayer is to connect and form a relationship. How does that work?
You have a friend. How do you connect to your friend without speaking?
You interact with them.
How do you interact with speaking? Could you imagine having a relationship with someone without speaking to them? That's a way of connecting.
So I'm speaking to God right now. As I'm saying these things, as I'm talking to God. That's a connection.
But you're talking to God from a deeper place in you. So you're not just saying words. You're telling God I love you. You're telling God thank you. You're telling God that you acknowledge His existence. Telling God how amazing He is. All these things make you be more involved in the relationship. But if you're going to just say it, it's like someone going on AI and asking the AI, so what should I tell my wife now? Can give some good ideas. And sometimes there's good ideas. What should I tell my wife now? She's upset about something. What is the best line I could say? So imagine AI would tell you what to say. But if you're just going to say it, just dry, it won't work. It won't connect you. She won't feel that you really mean it. When you take those words and you look at those words and you think about it, you're processing in your head, you make it yours, and then you will pronounce it, and then you enunciate it. Those words are really going to be very powerful, and it's going to connect you, and she'll see that you're really there, and that's going to create the connection.
Prayer is just talking to God, just talking. That's all it is. It's just connection through speech. From a deep part of me, through understanding what the word is saying.
It's romantic
Also the tone.
talk. It's romantic.
Meaning,
It's romantic talk.
well, I don't know what that means. You're a bacher.
You're a bacher, so you don't know. What?
What does that mean? Be romantic.
Fuck. If you're a bacher, I can't say. I hear. Usually only bacher know. Once people get married, they forget what.
Really? I'll believe that.
I'm joking. You got my point. So l'chaim. Chassidim, let's be chassidim. Let's celebrate.
Amen.
Neheira Yishama V'yada Yehuda.
Lieberman.
Do something
So do it with your heart.
to arouse intimate connection.
Not in order to arouse. You are there. You're trying to be there. You're trying to be romantic. It's not like trying in order to arouse. You are there. You're talking from your heart. Not only talking from your brain. You don't know what it means. Don't use the word romantic. When you tell your mother that how much you appreciate her, or you gave her a home. What? It's from where it's coming.
Speak to God with a tone